Are you successful or are you just living life? Alright, so today I'm going to have a little conversation with you guys about success. What is success? Are you successful? What's it take to become successful? You can spend 40 years of your life. At the end of that 40 years after you've started working, out of 100 people, 1 will be rich. About 5 will be financially independent, and about 5 will still be working. The rest of you are broke. You know who you are. The problem is we're like lemmings. We all just go with the flow. If you ask someone, why do you work? Well, I got bills to pay. Well, okay, yeah, but why do you work? Are you happy with what you're doing? If you're not happy with whatever it is that you're doing, you're not successful. So can I say I've been successful? I'm going on 67. Have I been successful? No. I haven't been successful because I didn't do what I wanted to do that would have made me happy. Oh, all my bills were always paid. I didn't go into debt except for like a house or a car payment from like age 30 on. But I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. And now I'm retired and I'm dependent upon somebody else to take care of me. I always had a job. Oh, I'd go for maybe a month, sometimes a couple weeks. I think the longest I've gone is maybe 2 months without some type of job. And I always took the first job that came along because I had this panic, this worry. Well, I got to make money. I got to pay my bills. I got to pay all my bills. So no matter what the job was, I wasn't choosy. I wasn't picky. If they would hire me, I'd take the job. Consequently, I've been unhappy about it. I was unhappy then, and even more unhappy now because if I look back on it, I knew what would have made me happy. I know what job would have made me happy. But because of circumstances, I didn't pursue it. And that was a mistake. In our society today that we live in is not geared to make us successful. It is totally geared to make us a lemming, a follower. We slow everything down to the weakest link. We don't pursue excellence. We take everybody that is achieving excellence and suck them down to the people who are not. And we pursue this ideal that says always protect your weakest link. And there's nothing wrong with protecting the weakest link. But we sacrifice our happiness and our success because everybody is forcing us. Let's take school, for instance. We're dumbing down our kids because everybody's got to succeed. Everybody gets a participation trophy. Nobody wins anymore. But everybody gets a trophy because we've slowed down the winners to be equal with the people that don't put forth the effort. And don't try to get into all this racial stuff and everything like that because you're just trying to cover up for your own insecurities. Has nothing to do with me. That is you. That is your ideals, and you're projecting them on me and everybody else. So deal with your own issues and stop projecting them on somebody else. So all through my life, I've had security, but I haven't had success. I can't say it's really been contentment, but I've had security. Do you know what I mean? I've had security. I've always been taken care of. Even with this security all the way through, I can't really say that I've had contentment. I obviously have not been successful. I haven't been content, but I've been taken care of. I had security. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand where you are at? Do you know where you're at? Do you know what boat you're in, what lake you're floating on? And all through this life's journey, we become what we think about. You probably heard that before. And what we think about is what we talk about. And what we talk about produces reality. So in my case, if I think all I have to do is I have to make a paycheck, and that's what I do, I make the paycheck. And I have settled for this mediocrity, this just getting by, the bills being paid. Now, if that was my goal, and I was very successful at that goal, but I wasn't successful as far as my entire life was concerned. I've got great kids, I've got a great family, can't complain about any of that. Is it what I always wanted it to be? Is all of this what I thought it would be when I was younger? Well, no, but I made it myself. It became what I thought about. It became what I talked about. And if you take time, depending upon where you're at in your walk in life, if you take time to stop and think, contemplate a little bit about what it is you're doing, what you're thinking about, and what you're talking about, and you will realize that is where you're at. All right, so how do we change this? You have to consciously, you have to make an effort. You have to decide what it is that you want to be and then work towards that. And it's really simple how to do that. Write down what you want to be. And then you have to take a look at that every day. You have to eat, sleep, drink, live. You have to believe and speak like you're already there. If you can do that, you will achieve what your desires are. It may sound simplistic. It may sound easy, but that's all it takes. It takes a goal. You have to eat, sleep, drink. You have to believe. You have to believe that you've already achieved it, and you will achieve it. Your mind will achieve it. It's got no other purpose except to achieve what you think about and what you talk about. You can go through history and look at all the great philosophers. They all talk about the exact same thing, about believing, about you becoming what you think about, becoming what you talk about. Even through the ages, in some of the oldest books in recorded history, all say the exact same thing. They actually have examples of it working. We're never taught this in school. You pick it up in passing. You might pick up a book. There's been books written on it. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. If you truly care about it, you will receive it. If you wish to develop your human spirit to become a better person, full of love and joy and health, happiness, if you concentrate on that every day, write down on your goal sheet, I am happy, I am joyful, everybody around me likes me, they like to be around me. And you see that every day. You read it every day. You live it every day. You talk about it every day. When you visit someone or you run across somebody, hey, everybody loves me. Everybody likes to be around me. I just love people and people love me back. You can't help but becoming a loving person. Joy. Every time you see somebody, you got to write it down first. I'm a very joyful and happy person. Everybody you see, I'm so happy, I have so much joy in my life. People that are around me bring me joy. You can't help but become joyful. Now there's one other thing that you have to do, and that is consciously knock off the negative. When these thoughts come up, I'm not happy, or I'm not a loving person, or whatever it is that you're working on, you need to cut those off right now. You need to stop that. Stop the negative. It's like planting seeds. You have a thought, and that's a seed, and you plant it in the ground, which is your mind. Whatever you plant is going to come up. And here's the big catch. It doesn't come up immediately, because you could be planting all of these seeds, but yet the harvest has not occurred yet. The harvest occurs down the road. So even though you are planting seeds, it's not immediate. And after you plant that seed, you need to water it and you need to fertilize it. And all of this talk and all of this visualizing of your dream, imagining that you're there, imagining yourself being happy, imagine yourself being joyful. If you start imagining yourself being unhappy, or you talk about being unhappy, you're just planting negative seeds. They will come to fruition. And if you've got more negative seeds and positive seeds planted, and you just keep watering them and fertilizing them, well, that's what's going to grow in your life. Even in the Bible, it says all things are possible to them who believe. Do you know who Norman Vincent Peale is? He even said this is probably his greatest discovery that he's ever made. Unfortunately, he waited too long in life to figure it out, like most of us. If you think on positive things, you'll receive positive results. If you think on negative things, you're going to receive negative results. You need to think, speak, believe, and receive. Some people even try to account this to luck, or they say, Some people are just lucky. Well, who is a lucky person? You've got two people walking together down the sidewalk. They're both chatting, they're both having a good time. One of them looks down and picks up a $20 bill. Oh, he's lucky. No, he's not lucky. He was looking for it. He probably thinks good fortune comes my way at every turn. And he talks about it. Talks to his buddy he's walking with. You know, everywhere I go, I have good fortune. He sees himself receiving good fortune. He doesn't know where it's coming from. He doesn't plan for that $20 bill to be there. He just happens to look down and see it. And we say, well, he was lucky. Well, I don't think he was lucky because he was looking for it and he spoke about it and he thought about it. Now, if you don't have a goal or something to think about, you're in confusion, disarray, nothing to look forward to. That's how your life goes. They think about fear, anxiety, frustration, and what we think about, we become. Let me give you an example of this. I knew a person years ago, probably 20 years or more, and he was constantly sick. His family, his daughter, perfectly healthy. And all of a sudden, she started becoming sick. Always all kinds of health problems and everything else because that's what she was associated with. That's what she was taught. It's unfortunate because she didn't have to. All these little seeds that you're planting that grow, it depends on what you plant. And you can think of this as planting anything you want. If you plant a pumpkin, it'll grow up to be a pumpkin. It depends on the type of seed. You can plant a mustard seed and you get a mustard plant. If you truly believe and you say to this mountain to cast itself into the sea, if you truly believe and you speak it, it'll happen. Now your mind doesn't care what you plant. You can plant anything you want, but keep in mind, it will return what you plant, good or bad, positive, negative. Now, wherever you are at today, you are there because that's where you wanted to be. Whether you want to admit it or not, you are where you are at because that's where you wanted to be. That's what you worked towards. That's what you thought about. That's what you talked about. You are where you are because that's where you want to be. Are you happy with where you are? Change it. Plant the right seed. Find that goal. What is it you want to be? What do you want to become? It's the end goal in mind that you're looking at. And that goal can be whatever. Love, joy, happiness, money. Although if you do pursue what makes you happy, the money will come anyway. That kind of ends up being superficial. You may have heard stories about ships and rudders and the size of the rudder. That a simple, small little rudder actually directs that ship. And you can think of that little rudder as your tongue, what you speak about. Now, if you speak positive, you speak negative, you speak this, you speak that, you're going like this, you're going nowhere. Worst of all, because you don't have a goal, you don't have anywhere that you're going, you're probably just rudderless and just being pushed around by the wind or whatever happens to come up. But yet, with a clear, defined direction, a clear, defined goal, you can set that rudder on that path, put your tongue on that path, and your brain, your mind, your boat will get you there. Here's a quote for you. As you believe, so shall it be done for you. So as you believe, or what you believe, that is what will happen to you. Another quote is, whatever you sow, that you're going to reap. Whatever you plant, that will be your harvest. So whatever seeds you plant, that's what you're going to receive. So ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open. It's yours for the taking, but you have to do it. You have to start. Most of us never start. Everyone that asks receives, and he that seeks will find. Now, success is not making money. Money is the result of success. Let that sink in for a second. Money is not success. Money is the result of success.